So what the heck is D&D? I have not been playing D&D that long, but it has quickly gotten me hooked, and I love just the storytelling aspect of the game. It's just so much fun and so engaging with friends. It's just a blast. But if you're a newcomer to D&D, you may have no idea what it even is, so let's break it down. Ultimately, in my opinion, Dungeons & Dragons is a storytelling game. That's what it is. If the story's not good, no one's gonna be engaged, no one's gonna be having fun. It is also a role-playing game, so the players take a role of a character, ideally different from themselves. You can be these larger-than-life characters who are bent on an ideal or trying to conquer a certain mission or goal. And it gives your players a really good chance to use their imagination, their acting skills, and just have a good time. It's kind of like the combination between Mafia, if you've ever played that game, or like charades, and also like a story-driven, pick-your-own-adventure graphic novel or something like that. And one kind of gaming session could last anywhere from an hour to 4 hours. To get started, you're going to need a game master or a dungeon master. And basically they are the narrators or the creators of this world that you are setting your players into. They will build a narrative and a world basically for your characters to explore. And like what I was saying earlier, like a pick your own adventure kind of thing. And basically the dungeon master or game master is responsible for the player's fun, really. You want to give your players a ton of freedom of choice so that they can go and explore and feel like the world is a real world that can be lived in. There will be interactions like NPCs, non-playable characters that the players will interact with while they're on their journey and maybe get items from or quests from or try to attack. And it's important that the dungeon master or game master kind of embodies these characters, puts on a funny voice, or, you know, explains them in depth so the players can have a visual in their head of who they're interacting with. For me, that's a lot of the fun, is the visualization, the storytelling, and just getting invested in the world that you're exploring. There could be treasure or loot that you find from looting dead bodies or finding treasure chests in abandoned caves. And there will be goals as well. Maybe a king is sending you on a mission to map out an uncharted cave, and while you're there, you interact with some old wizard who shares some magical tale with you about greater days and how the king is actually evil and you have to backstab him or something like that. Or maybe you're in a tavern with your buddies, hanging out, celebrating after a war victory, yet you hear trumpets off in the distance as enemies come flying over the walls again. Or maybe your players wake up on an abandoned island with nothing but their shattered pirate ship in front of them, laying in ruins, as a man in the distance runs towards them with a sword drawn. There are so many options here, and I think that's what makes Dungeons & Dragons so appealing, especially to someone like myself. I love fantasy and exploration and all that sort of stuff. It's so cool. The game's choices and actions also revolve around a set of 6 dice. They all have different sides on them, ranging from a 20-sided dice to a 4-sided dice. And basically this set of dice will decide how good your characters are at performing certain tasks. Maybe your character wants to climb a rope, so you have them roll a dice to decide if they can make it up that rope or slip along the way. Or maybe your character wants to investigate a room and see what they can spot in the area, looking through drawers and shelves and whatnot. So you have them roll a dice, and if they get a 5, maybe a speck of dust lands in their eye and they can't see anything. Or if they roll a 20, they have X-ray vision and they can see everything in the room super clearly. It's funny moments like that that really make the adventure super exciting. And there are specific rules and ways of playing, but ultimately I would say just get a general knowledge of how to play and go have fun. If you're just buried in the rule book the entire time you're playing, it's not gonna be very fun and very engaging. You want things to move fast and make it feel real. But all in all, Dungeons & Dragons really is, again, a storytelling experience and giving your players the choice to explore a world and create their own adventure. Maybe they want to be the bad guys, maybe they want to be the good guys, whatever it is. They have total player choice, total player freedom, and it's a game unlike anything else. It is a little difficult to get into the rules and whatnot, but there are really, really easy ways of doing that. I have a video also on how to play completely for free, so you can check that out and get involved that way. But that's about it for today. We will see you in the next one, guys. Peace.